Hi, I'm Titus Cunningham, and I've been reading one of the great books. I want to talk to you about Dante's Divine Comedy, which is it's kind of a hard sell um, because it's poetry. The way that Dante organizes even his rhyme schemes is Trinitarian. Um, he uses tercets, which is kind of like a long ways down as like a trace of the Trinity. But I think for me, I loved it so much because I didn't know how to imagine heaven. Like you get like hints of it in the Bible, and you know that like Christ will be there, and that like the saints will be there. But as you read um, Paradiso, you get to actually frame a picture that you didn't have before. Um, and then you also get to look at even hell as something that's beautiful in light of God's justice. And so it's like, it's really hard to wrap your mind around hell um, because it's hard to grapple with God's justice. But Dante does it in a way that both glorifies God and makes it comprehensible to the Christian. I think the beauty of the book consists in Dante's depiction of hierarchy, which is something that has kind of fallen out with modern audiences to a point where I think it can make it unattractive to an increasingly like egalitarian culture. But Dante, like many of the kind of medieval and Renaissance poets, delights in the order of God's creation. And he's able to depict that with his rhymes and with the structure of the poetry. And the whole narrative is an ascent from like, or I guess it's like a psalm in that it starts on earth, you have a descent into hell, and then you are raised up into heaven. So that kind of like J curve of the psalm is reflected in the huge narrative of the Divine Comedy. Dante is a Christian poet, and so he is like the glorious truth of the gospel overflows in his poetry. And so while he gives us like imaginative portrayals of what heaven and hell look like, and they're not even supposed to be precise. They're supposed to give us a feeling and a sense of what God's justice and overflowing grace looks like. And so it helps us when we go back to our Bible and we get hints of that, and we get to have the Bible's pictures of heaven and hell. And when Christ talks about hell, we have maybe a deeper sense of what that looks like. And then when we think about what it means to see God face to face, we have a just almost more awesome sense of that because of Dante's painting in his work.